Here's a quick quiz to see how well you know your ECP coaches. Which generational cohort does ECP coach John belong to? Is he a baby boomer? Does he belong to Generation X? Maybe he's a millennial. He could even be a Zoomer. What do you think? Baby boomer, Gen X, millennial, or Zoomer? That's right. ECP Coach John is a baby boomer.
Hello and welcome to the weekly English practice from English Coaching Project.
Hello, and in this week's weekly English practice, we're going to look at the concept of generational cohorts. This concept is used to divide the general population into different categories. For example, millennials, Generation X, or baby boomers. Woo, it's a bit windy. You might have heard of the expression, "Okay, boomer." But what does that mean? What is it about? Basically, it is used by today's younger generations when older generations, often baby boomers, criticize them for their actions and attitudes. It is basically a sarcastic response along the lines of, "Yeah, whatever. I bought my first house when I was 21 years old. I was working in a factory and I saved my money by not going out. Young people today aren't interested in saving money. They just waste it on things like avocado and Netflix." Okay, boomer. At ECP, we in fact cover 3 of these generational cohorts. We have a baby boomer, 3 Generation X, and we even have a millennial. Here are some of the typical stereotypes that are used to define these generations. Rob's generation, for example, values autonomy. Darren's generation is well educated. Ali's generation is motivated by meaningful work. John's generation prefers working face to face. And Kez's generation is comfortable with technology. Ask your ECP coach which generation they belong to and if they agree with these different definitions. And what about you? What generation do you belong to? And do you agree with the definitions? Read the article, listen to the audio, check the vocabulary, and answer the questions at the end. And send us your ideas, your opinions, your thoughts via email, via WhatsApp, and you could even write them down on a piece of paper and hand them in to your coach personally. Chat about these ideas with your family, friends, and ECP coach. Have a great day, have a wonderful week, and a fantastic weekend. See ya, bye. Are you a boomer, a Gen Xer, a millennial, or a Zoomer? At ECP, we have a baby boomer, 3 Gen Xers, and a millennial, 3 different generational cohorts. ECP coach Rob tries to clarify what all these monikers mean. What is a generational cohort? The idea of generational cohorts divides the general population into generations of individuals that share the same political, economic and social events during the early stages of life. The theory is that they develop a similar set of beliefs, values and behaviour. The most popular division in the Western world, especially with advertising and marketing agencies, uses different monikers to name each category, beginning with the lost generation, born between 1883 and 1900, all the way up to the tentatively named Generation Alpha of the early 2010s to the mid-2020s. So, when were they born and what are they supposed to be like? Baby boomers, or boomers, born between 1946 and 1964. The end of World War II and the economic prosperity that followed led to a boom in births, hence the name baby boomers. 4 characteristics. They are competitive and driven. They faced higher competition for jobs because of the rise in population. They value visibility in their work. Boomers have always worked in face-to-face environments. They have had to adapt to technology. Important changes in technology have come later in their lives. They are retiring later than previous generations. Aging populations mean governments are delaying the official retirement age, and offers of early retirement are becoming less common. Generation X, also known as the latchkey generation, born from 1965 to 1980. There are theories about the origins of the moniker X. Many believe that it refers to being lost or difficult to define. 4 characteristics. They value autonomy. Often the children of 2 working parents, Gen Xers spent more time unsupervised at home, becoming independent and learning to solve problems on their own. They are well educated. The decline of manufacturing jobs meant further education became more important. They are comfortable with technology. Growing up with new TV channels, video games, and the first computers means that technological change is normal. They prefer to create a clear separation between their work and personal lives. Gen Xers don't want to prioritize work over time with their family in the same way their predecessors had to. Millennials, also known as Generation Y, born between 1981 and 1996. This group got the name millennials because the oldest of them were entering adulthood at the turn of the new millennium, the year 2000. 4 characteristics. They prefer to collaborate. An approach to work that considers different points of view is preferable to top-down methods. They are motivated by meaningful work. They desire work that uses their creativity and talent, and that makes an impact on others. They are digital natives. Growing up with the internet means that they accept new technologies. They are amenable to feedback. Professional development requires good feedback and mentorship. Zoomers, also known as Generation Z or Generation Z, or I Generation, 1997 to 2015. The term Zoomer is a portmanteau of Generation Z and Boomer. 4 characteristics. They value social responsibility and diversity. Social media has allowed them to give their opinions from a young age. They expect to work with modern technology. Digital natives expect digital solutions. They're breaking away from institutional structures. Non-traditional approaches, such as cryptocurrencies and online learning, are accepted. They want stability and flexibility. the option to work remotely is as important as pay and benefits. And here are this week's questions. What cohort are you in? Do you agree with the characteristics that supposedly define you? Explain how you are different. Talk about your family and friends and what they are like. What communication problems can exist between cohorts? Do you have any? Look at the image on page 2. Do you know anyone in the generations before the boomers? Describe their life experiences.